Hello, this is Brian J, and this is my review of the movie called Roma. It is 6:13 a.m. here in New York City. I woke up at around 2 a.m. I woke up around 2 a.m., 2:30, but don't worry, I think I got like 8 hours of sleep. I think I got about like 8 to 9 hours of sleep before I woke up and I saw Roma in New York City, at least on the East Coast. When new movies and TV shows on Netflix they premiere at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I woke up at 2 o'clock, and about an hour later I started watching Roma, and man, this movie is absolutely beautiful. This is one of the most gorgeous, most breathtaking works of art I've ever seen in my life. It is stunning. Every shot, every scene could have been a painting. This whole movie is like a moving painting, and it's a very profound and stunning portrayal of, this Mexican family life in Mexico in the early 1970s. The movie takes place over a span of a year, from the year 1970 to 1971. It's about this woman who is a housekeeper to this family. She's Mexican. She's taking care of this Mexican family. Her name is Cleo. And this movie, which is written and directed by Alfonso Cuaron, this movie is about his childhood. It's about her. It's about his housekeeper, who is still the housekeeper and caretaker in their family. She's still living with them. Like, I think Alfonso Cuaron, I don't know if he's living with his family still. He has his own house. I don't know if he has different houses. Maybe he lives in LA or still lives in Mexico. But, she's still in his life. She's still in his family's life. I mean, that's what's so beautiful about this movie, is that it's a very personal and profound portrayal of Alfonso Cuaron. Now, the critics give it a 97%. So this movie is amazing. And the audience score is a 93%. So the critics and the audience are mostly in agreement about how incredible this movie is. And me personally, I think this movie is a masterpiece. I think this is one of the few movies that I will say is absolutely perfect in every single way. This movie, I give it a 10 out of 10. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. It is absolutely perfect. And the critic consensus is that Roma finds writer-director Alfonso Cuarón in complete, enthralling command of his visual craft and telling the most powerfully personal story of his career. I agree with that consensus. I mean, there are so many scenes that are so vibrant and so vivid. It's just so beautiful, every single shot. Like, there are scenes where Cleo, the family caretaker, the maid, I should say. Cleo, the maid, when she's walking in the streets of Mexico in whatever city that they're in, you could see the cars driving by, people walking in the background. You see the sets and this recreation of 1970s life in Mexico. Every scene feels like it's just coming alive. It has such a great tone and atmosphere. You feel like you are living inside of the movie, and everything is coming to life for you as the audience, for you as a viewer. I mean, the tone, the atmosphere, the visuals, and the aesthetics is just so gorgeous. Every scene could be a painting. Every shot is just incredible. And this is definitely, to me so far, this is the best movie of the decade. There's other great movies like The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick, and you have Arrival by Denis Villeneuve, but Roma, to me, is the best film of the decade so far. I mean, there's still one more year. There's still 2019, and there's a lot of great movies coming out next year. But I will have to say that Roma is the best movie of the decade. And this is Alfonso Cuarón's greatest achievement. This is his true masterpiece. This is the masterpiece that I think he's been trying to make his entire life, but he never really got the chance. He never felt like he was really bringing himself to make a real masterpiece. I felt like he was doing everything in his career to really get to this point, and this is his greatest movie. And he, to me, out of all the three amigos, I think he is the best director in terms of shot composition and filmmaking. And then there's Alejandro G. Iñárritu, who is the director of The Revenant and Birdman and Babel. And Alejandro G. Iñárritu probably has the best long takes, even though I think Cuarón will give him a run for his money, because his long takes in all of his movies are really great. At least in his last three movies, his long takes are great. But Alejandro G. Iñárritu probably makes the most grueling, the most grueling movies. His movies really show the really grueling, horrible side of humanity and life in general. And he probably makes the movies that make you the most uncomfortable. His movies are the most combative. But Alfonso Cuarón makes movies that are really not just entertaining, but really profound works of art as well. I don't think Gravity is a great movie, but it's really good and it had a lot of great moments. But I don't think that's his greatest movie. I think Roma is his greatest movie, and I hope Alfonso Cuarón wins Best Director or Best Screenplay. I hope this movie wins Best Picture. at the Academy Awards. I hope it gets nominated for a lot of Oscars, maybe 5 to 7 Academy Awards at the Oscars, and I hope it wins big. And I love this movie. Roma is an absolute masterpiece. It's written and directed by Alfonso Cuaron. If you got Netflix, watch this movie. If you don't have Netflix, get it for free for 1 month. Watch this movie. You could cancel, or you could stay on Netflix and watch the other great shows and movies that are on Netflix. But I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Netflix is known for having bad movies. Like, if your movie sucks, you drop it on Netflix. Like, for a while, before these last few months, Netflix was known as the streaming service that if your movie, it was like VHS from the 90s, where if your movie sucks, you drop it on VHS back in the 90s. That this is why you had a lot of these really terrible horror movies back in the 90s that were released on VHS, and they would find an audience, do really well, and then they would make a sequel and put that on VHS. And this was starting to kind of become like Netflix. Like, Netflix was starting to become the new VHS, where if your movie is trash, drop it on Netflix. If it finds an audience, you make a sequel or you make another movie, and it could, like, you know, keep your career going for a number of years. But Roma is the exception. Roma, these last few months, Netflix has put on some great movies. I thought Outlaw King was really good. I think The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a great movie. And here, Roma is a perfect movie. It is a masterpiece. And Roma proves that Netflix can pick great movies too. That now Netflix is starting to really rival Amazon Prime as the streaming service that puts on great movies. Because Roma, I would have to say, is better than all of the Amazon Prime movies combined. And I love some of the Amazon Prime movies, but Roma is a perfect movie. It's a masterpiece. And Netflix is finally making good movies, finally putting out great movies, finally buying great movies from film festivals. And I give Roma a 10 out of 10. And I'm going to probably see this movie again either today or tomorrow. I'll probably see it again on Sunday. I want to watch this movie many, many times. And yeah, I give Roma a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. Go see it. I recommend it. And this is Brian J. signing off for now.